Who can provide me the definition or your idea about morality?
Is the behavior or codes of behavior of a given group, sir?
All right, so it's the codes or behavior of a given group. So that's correct, Villanueva. Any other answer? Class, any other answer? Do you know?
Sir.
Last name?
What? Regala, sir.
Regala, go ahead.
Morality embrace a person beliefs about appropriateness or goodness of what
You
sir.
nawala ka. Kindly repeat.
One. Morality embrace a person's beliefs about the appropriateness of goodness of what he does, thinks, or
Okay. Thank you for that, Regala. So the
sir.
appropriateness. Yes, that's
Welcome, sir.
last name.
Sir,
Who was the first one? Katong Lisolde na. Just tell me your last name para kay I nag-share screen ko. The possibility is matabunan inyong mga names so I cannot see it. Who wants to share pa?
Sabroso, sir.
Sabroso, go ahead.
Morality is the sir, extent to which an action is right or wrong, or behind the sir, behind the arguments of the two.
Okay.
That's
All right. Yes, that's also correct, Sabroso. So for now, for the definition of morality, all you've said is correct, but let us simplify the definition. First, we have to the most simple definition of this is the belief about right and wrong actions, good and bad persons or character. So in short, this is more on rules of right and wrong or norms, norms of right and wrong. So the term appropriateness can also be referred to word proper, no? Appropriate or proper. Morality is not more dili siya into that kind of level because proper or appropriateness is just only in a lower level compared to rightness of an action. So appropriateness is more on into ethics rather than morality, but somehow it's close. It's very close. So it consists of moral judgments, principles, values, and theories. So muna yung mga coverage class. Moral judgments, principles, values, and theories. What about ethics? Who can provide me your ideas about ethics?
Herlaga,
Sabroso,
sir.
sir.
Lagos?
Herlaga, sir.
What is it again? Your last name?
Herlaga, sir.
Herol Lagos? Herolaga.
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 Yes, sir.
Go on.
Wait lang, ano na. Is the attempt to understand and justify the behavior, sir.
Yes, that's a concise definition of ethics. What else?
Sabroso, sir.
Regala, sir. Regala.
Sabroso, go on.
Sir, another a knowledge that deals with moral principles, either of behavior or conducting of an activity, sir.
All right. Yes, that's correct as well, Sabroso. So you're trying
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
to be knowledgeable about the principles that is being dealt or of morality. Any other last name or kisay new kanya Sullivan? Do you have an answer?
Cayetano, sir. Cho.
Chu? All right, go on.
Ethics is a concern with what is the good for individuals and society, and it's also described as a moral philosophy. The term is derived from the Greek word of ethos, which can means custom, habit, character, or disposition.
All right, that's also correct. True. So the other term for ethics is a moral philosophy. So it's still philosophy, na, as I've said in our previous meeting. So ethics is basically a a general approach to morality. So it is the study of morality using methods of philosophy. So that's why it's moral philosophy. It studies the rules, no, being discussed in morality. So we will be digging in more about morality later on as we go on with the perspectives of ethics. So it is the careful examination of the moral judgments, principles, values, and theories. So basically, ang ethics, ang morality is particular. It's very specific or specific. While ang ethics is the general one or kinda wider, no, in a sense, because it studies morality. So, ang morality mohatag og mga rules and norms, judgments, principles, values, and theories, while ethics will study those norms, no, of morality, and then you are going to to examine if those rules are really appropriate. So mo ni siya din mo magamit ang term nga appropriate and proper in the word in the in the ethics instead of morality. So kumbaga, ang philosophy nagdeal siya sa study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, no? So the knowledge is the one being studied by philosophy. So ang particular is ang knowledge while philosophy is the bigger one. So morality is the specific or the particular while ethics is the bigger one in a sense that it covers or studies all sorts of morality. So there are many ways to study morality, class. So mo ni siya ang new contemporary attempt gani is to play morality or to deal with morality in the perspective of science. Can you imagine ethics guided by science? Somehow that is
Yes, sir.
that is very that's very factual, I guess, or objective in a sense that it's guided by evidence or proof. So who said that you can imagine moral is guided with science?
So, sir,
Joe, why did you say that?
for me, sir, also the question, sir?
Can you imagine ethics or morality guided with science?
Kay gatoo manggot ang mga sir, mga mga philosopher nga kanin tanan tabos tong kalibutan made in science. Kanang science nga pag explanation how plants grow, car unsa ang pagdala ng sakyanan, then pagtubo sa mga kahoy nga mga theories ra ba, sir, ba? Mga theories sa mga philosopher, mga kaingon sila nga mga nahitabo diri sa kalibutan or pag buuan ning the world nga made in science. Nagkarang na pagka kuan sa science, sir, ba?
Yeah, yes, that's science. Can you cite an example of an ethics that the one can dictate of its rightness and wrongness is science, like usa ka action nga amo dictate nga sakto na og sayo is science, not philosophy. Can you cite an example? It's hard, right? It's hard to cite an example that the one that
Yes, sir.
the one will declare or judge that it's right and wrong is science. But later on, I guess someone can develop a systematic way of looking at moral issues through science in the lens of science. I guess that can make and give us a guide to how will it work, no? Sa karon for now, even a few years ago, I tried to imagine ethics or morals guided by science. It's somehow kinda impossible for me because it's very limited. What about those actions that are not really associated with the empirical thing? You know, dili gyud siya ma-associate with proof and evidence, no? Okay, let's say for example, killing. It is always associated with facts and proof. Because you cannot declare that someone killed someone if there's no evidence of a body being killed or someone being killed. Yeah, that's an example for that. But in that sense, it's very limited. No? Limited kaya siya in a sense nga, what about those actions that are not really associated with science? Okay, so we will deal more on that. If you have ideas, just feel free to raise that one. I will be glad not to give clarity. So
Sir,
yes, Sullivan,
pwede ka patag og example sa kuan sir para na po may makuan sir ba?
saan sa
Kung
man?
say kuan nang tagay mi damig example sir.
Saan sa man?
Katong
Which one?
katong katong sakto og dili sa kuan sir kanang magkapareho ang ethics o science.
In that ethics and science. Yes. Let's say an example for that is one. Do not kill, no? This is a rule of morality. Do not kill. It applies everywhere, no? In any country or any city or any place that you belong. It applies that killing is morally wrong. No, it's morally wrong. In ethics, there are many perspectives in ethics, but no perspective that will justify killing as correct, unless if there is a relevant or a logical reason behind it. Say for example, self-defense. So imong pagpatay, pwede siyang ma-justify because it's a self-defense. But in a condition that the self-defense, no, ang self-defense has followed the criteria what makes an action a self-defense. Pwede raman kang mo declare nga self-defense siya pero dili. So makaingon ka nga if it will be investigated, kung investigahan na, musango ka sa investigation because it was only your declaration yung self-defense or dili di ay. So here, in morals, in morality, killing is wrong, morally wrong. While in science, so see for example, ethics is morality is guided by science. So this is morality. So guided by philosophy. Sa karon ang morality is always guided by philosophy. So if it's guided by science, it will only declare that an action is wrong per science if there is an evidence that someone is being killed. There's a body, there is a killer. So dunay ebidensya. Philosophy is also like that. Duna po'y evidence of proof, because if it's not being attached to proof, then or evidence, we cannot declare it as wrong as well. But for me, the morality being guided by science is much more deeper. It's not only about evidence. It's really about an action that has something to do with physical things. So I cannot divulge more, no? Dili ko makahatag ninyo more information about morality guided by science because that is not our issue for this class. But morality guided by philosophy. So just erase lang usa sa inyong mind ang morality guided by science. Let's focus on morality guided by philosophy because this is the most renowned, most known in the academy. Okay? Thank you for raising that.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you for raising that, Sullivan. Okay, so let's move on.
Thank you, sir.
Through philosophy, we can examine the heart of moral issues judge the worth of moral judgments or principles, and above all, work to ensure that our moral beliefs rest on the solid ground of good reasons. So there is always this kind of thing. Because dili lamang ka mo patay, nya wala kay hinungdan. Dili lang pug ka mo mangawat nga wala hinungdan. So, in order for you to justify that action, you also should have good reasons to justify the committed action. No, nganong imong nabuhat. So that's the way you're gonna counter something that you committed. So dili man po, siyempre nagbuhat ka because there is a reason. So in order for you to justify, you also have to counter it with good reasons. So whether you like it or not, as you go on in life, you must cross the dense, thorny realm of morality. So sa mo natong iwan ang class that we cannot escape from the realm of morality as we go on in life. We cannot be a good person without morals. In reverse, we will be bad persons in the eyes of many, in the eyes of our parents, in the eyes of our brothers or siblings. So that's why we cannot deny, or we cannot escape from the realm of morality. We will cross this, no? Samot na moabot na mo sa laing mga lugar, because as we encounter different people, they have different perspectives as well of right and wrong. So we have no choice but to respect respect their beliefs, no? Nag-iya-iya mo tayong beliefs. So morality class, as the further difference with ethics, morality is normative while ethics is not. What is normative? Anyone who has an idea about normative? Alright, none? Right, so nawala to.
Sir Cho.
Sir, sir.
Cho,
Sir,
sir.
sir.
Alright, Cho.
Normative ethics is the study of ethical behaviors, and it's the branch of philosophical ethics that investigates the question what are raised regarding how one ought to act in a moral sense.
What have you understood about it in your own terms?
Sir, ang normative sir kuan po siya ga base ra po siya sa kuan ga study ra po siya sa ethical behavior, so ang normative sir wala ra siya ga focus sa philosophical ethics, na po siya sa ga study po siya about sa studical behavior.
Alright, thank you for that, Chu. Yeah, that could be. Okay, so normative is anyone? Napay mo kuan? Fuentes, go on.
Okay na sir, okay na sir.
Okay. Alright, so normative, it provides norms, no? Kaning norms gani, ning set of rules, no, or standards for judging actions and persons. So you're going to judge an action or a person based on the set of rules or standards. And the main business of morality, it is not to describe how things are, but to prescribe how things should be. So ang morality is more on prescribing than describing. So kumbaga, doctor ka, you are going to prescribe a proper medicine in order to heal, no, the illness of the patient. So dili nimo i-describe ang sakit sa pasyente kung dili imo siyang, of course it's part in the process that you are going to describe what is his illness. But in order to heal the illness, let's say for example that is your bad character, that illness, morality is going to prescribe, what can heal or what can correct that bad character or bad behavior that is already embedded to you. So it's through prescribing. So an example with this, which in these two statements is prescribing and which is describing. You should not cheat, and the other one, cheating is an act of dishonesty, which is prescribing and which is describing. Clash, who can differentiate the two statement?
About sa cheating is
Sabroso, sir.
act of dishonesty, sir.
Yes, who said first? I mean, kasi ganahan mo answer ko na. Fuentes?
Sabroso, sir.
Ako, sir.
Si Fuentes sa Buzzer First. Go on.
Okay, sir.
Ang describe, sir, is cheating is an act of dishonesty.
What?
And prescribe you should not be.
Hmm. Can you
Then ang prescribe ka you should not.
can you explain why cheating is an act of dishonesty is an act of describing and the other one is an act of prescribing?
Sir, may i-describe niya nga ang cheating dili na maayo. Then mo na yang i-describe, sir.
All right. Thank you for that, Fuentes. That's correct, no? You should not cheat. This is an act of trying to prescribe a person not to do that, no? It's prescribing, and describing is you are only trying to describe or to give the definition of something. Cheating is an act of dishonesty. You're describing what is cheating. So here, this is more on morality. This is how morality works. While ethics is not really normative in a sense that it sometimes prescribes, it sometimes does not. Okay, under man ang morality sa ethics, because it studies morality. So some of the rules that is accepted by ethics or studied by ethics are prescribing and the others are not. So muna siya nga ang ethics in a wider sense, in a broader sense. So dili siya tanan maka-cover og normative, no? But it does not excuse, no? It does not excuse nga model ra siya sa describing. There are many rules there are many rules in normative or in normative ethics that has something to do with prescribing. So the conclusion is that morality are always prescribing according to norms, while ethics won't necessarily prescribe, but will give you a better understanding of the norms of morality. So let me put that here. So here, always prescribing ang morality according to norms, while ethics won't necessarily prescribe, but it will give you a better understanding of the norms of morality. Katong mga norms nga imong mahibal-an sa morality, sundon nimo to kung ganahan ka dinhi sa morality, because it was prescribing you, it is prescribing you to do that or not, no? So that's up to you. But ang trabaho sa ni ethics is to give you the pros and the cons of those norms. So it's already up to you if you're going to follow it or not. So that is it. Let's say, for example, 10 Commandments class. Example, 10 Commandments. If you know the 10 Commandments, these are all prescribing. Ga-command din mo to do these 10 Commandments. Pero sa ethics, in ethics, it will study these 10 commandments, iyahaning tunan, and will give you the pros and cons of the 10 commandments. After knowing the pros and cons of 10 commandments, it's already up to you if you're going to follow that or not. So that is how you gonna differentiate ethics and morality. So klaro na ba ang diferensya sa ethics and morality, class? If you have confusion, please raise that question para ma-clarify na to.
Klaro na, sir.
Alright. So let's proceed with the characteristics of morality. Who can provide the first characteristic? If you watched the video, it was in there.
The language of morality, sir.
The characteristics of morality.
Sir.
Cho, go on.
The 8 of moral characteristics are diligence, frugality, honesty, discipline,
No, that's not.
politeness.
I'm sorry.
Characteristics, sir.
Yes, characteristics.
Sakto, sir. Characteristic.
There are only 4 characteristics of morality.
Ako, sir.
Last,
Herlaga.
Herolaga, go on.
Sabroso, sir.
Yes, sir. Language of morality, sir.
No, it's not language. Sabroso?
Okay.
Sabroso, sir.
Yes.
Kuan, sir, a moral of sensitivity, moral of judgment,
No, not that.
moral of motivation,
Not that as
and moral
well.
of character, sir.
Dili gyapon.
Dili, sir. Thank you.
Sir. Sir.
Go on.
Religion of moral, sir.
No, not that as well.
Then morality of nature.
No. It was in the video in the introduction of Ethics 2.
Kuan, sir. For dancer.
For done, go on.
Property of overridingness.
Yes, the one. The overridingness. What have you understood about the principle of overridingness?
It is a moral norms has a stronger hold to us than non-moral ones do.
Okay, so that was the definition I provided in there. Na kay nasabtan na in your own terms or wala? What's
Wala, sir.
okay? It's okay. All right, so next time if there is a video, no, kindly to watch it and then take down notes. If maglisod magsabot sa term, ang technique na is you have to o wala na ako siya kay ma-explain clearly sa video, you have to cross-reference it with the dictionary. What is overridingness in respect to morality? So overridingness class, as said by Pordan, that was correct. That moral norms have much stronger hold to us or on us than non-moral ones do. So kaning moral norms, this is the set of rules now that we accepted as right and wrong. While non-moral, it has nothing to do with morals. It is not equivalent to it is not equivalent to immoral or amoral or not moral. No, non-moral is different to moral norms. It is totally opposite. Dili po ni siya immoral or non-moral or unmoral. Non-moral, it has nothing to do with immorality or morality. So moral norms have much stronger hold on us than non-moral ones do. So an example for this is this one. We accepted in the Filipino culture, no, it is one also of our as we accepted as right or sakto, is respect your elders. Na it happened nga doon na mo'y family gathering and then daghan inain yung mga lola diha og mga kaluluhan. So you have to express. It happened nga taga syudad ka, so you're not really educated about the culture, the Filipino culture about respecting the elders. So we accepted this. Let's say, for example, you have an idea what is respecting your elders. Of course, to mo amen ka, you have to greet them, you have to alalayan nimo sila og alisod sila glakaw, is like that. Ang non-moral, example of non-moral has nothing to do with the moral things. Eating chocolates is my priority. So it happened nga doon na may family gathering, instead nga imong untang dapiton ng imong lola nga lisod-lisod naglakaw, wala kay pakialam because nakidala chocolate eh. So sige kagkaog chocolate, wala kay pakialam sa akong lola, bahala na sila da akong lolo. So moral norms have much stronger hold than that eating chocolate. So murag itandugon man ka sa imong konsensya nga instead mukaon ka sa imong chocolate, imo na natabangan ng imuhang lola. So we believe on this because we are influenced by our upbringing that kung dili ta motuo sa instruction sa atong ginikanan, either kasab-an ta or sakiton ta. So that upbringing or that influence brought us, no, nagpadako nato nga we always follow what is moral. So i-disregard nato katong usually i-disregard nato katong dili siya moral. So let's say for example gutom kay ka, no, it has something to do with your body. It's still moral as well. But let's say you are not dili yung kagutom mo, where you are already in an attempt to eat your lunch. Mukhaw nang takag lunch. And then, naay nasunog nga imong silingan nga balay. So ang tendency na is imong biyaan ang imong pagkaon din mo tabang kag palong sa kalayo. So dili kaayo siya bugat, no, kaning imong pagkaon. Let's say for example dili yung kagutom. So kay habit naman nato nga mukaon on time. So that's why you are preparing your lunch to eat pero wala gyud kagutma. Let's say for example like that. And then dunay nasunog nga silingan. What holds you more is to help, no, sa imong silingan nga nanginahanglan because that is more moral thing to do than enjoy your meal. Di mo po ka maka-enjoy sa mong meal because of that bigger weight, no, to follow your conscience to help your neighbor. So that is an example of overridingness. The second, the characteristic of morality. What is it, class?
Impartiality, sir.
For Dan, what is it? What is impartiality?
Impartiality is treating or affecting all equality.
Treating, what is it again? Wala na ako naklaro.
Treating or affecting all equality.
So,
Sir,
so the,
kuan siya, sir,
Ako, sir.
go on. Last name, Villanueva?
Villanueva,
Go on.
kuan siya, sir, equality to all. It doesn't matter what's your race, what's your age, or social standing, as long as kuan, sir, patas tanan.
All right.
Thank you.
That's correct as well. Thank you for Dan and Villanueva. So that's correct. The point was to treat everyone equally. So everyone should be considered of equal moral worth. So the point of impartiality, egalitarian doctrine is somehow the same with impartiality, no? Egalitarian doctrine is that everyone should be treated equally. But egalitarian has nothing to do with morality. It just treat everyone equally. While impartiality, you should treat everyone with equal worth. Parehas tang value tanan. Tawo ka, tawo ko, tawo sila. So whatever their identity or race or culture, asa sila nagikan or the background, you should treat them as a person with equal worth to you. So kung patyo nimo sila, you are killing someone, no? You're killing someone that is like you. Murag ikaw kay para sa mong value. And that each person's interest must be given equal weight. So, tagaan po nato og the same nga pabor or same treatment ng ilahang mga interest. Kabantay mo sa, I guess it was the Desiderata, no? Desiderata is a very good poem, no? That can tell you the realities of life. There are so many moral lessons in Desiderata poem. All right, let's proceed. What about if someone has killed someone? Will we treat that person still the same as we treat others who do not committed the same mistake? Ato bagyapon tratuhon og parehas lang nga pagtrato ko ng tawhana if nakapatay siya the way we treat him before so wala pa siya nakapatay?
Dili, sir.
Who said that? Dili?
Sir,
Isa tong niingon una nga dili.
Balbon, sir.
Balbon, go on.
Sir, kay murag, ano man sir? Ano ganing murag? Naana imong kuan ba? Kanahuna ka nga basig. Ano ba? Na, like, sabi ani? Pag malahi na yung pagtrato niya sir, kay example, una, kay or like, okay mo, tapos pag nakapatay siya, maano ba, murag makahunahon ka ba nga basig? Lahi, bad ang bad influence, murag kuan sir? Ang good. Saka nang murag mawalan kag salad niya ba?
All right, yeah, thank you for that, Balbon. That is correct, no? That is an automatic response of everyone to someone. bisag mismo ang imong igsuon or imong kuan, or maybe imong igsuon makasabot-sabot ka because you're a sibling, but a friend perhaps most of good siya. It's an automatic response. So for the principle of impartiality class, equal should be treated no, that's yes, this one, equally unless there is a morally relevant reason to treat them differently. So morally relevant reason. So killing someone, a person who killed someone, we have a morally relevant reason not to treat that person the same as we treat others, no? Na wala nakakommit sa sala nga iyang nakommit. So it is automatic. We still value that person as a person, pero maglahi na gid atong tinagdan. Compare or ang atong pagtratar siya compare sa before siya nakasala.
Ug na imong perspective niya, sir.
Fuentes?
Ang perspective niyo sa tao nga nakapatay, sir, mausob, sir.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. So if there's a rule, we must not kill, therefore it applies to everyone. It is injustice to apply it to some but not to others. So ang impartiality, kung dunay rule nga do not kill, we should apply it to all. Nga dili ta mo patay sa bisag kinsa or bisag unsa nga klase sa tawo. Kay kung imo nang buhaton sa imo lang mga amigo, mga amiga, pero sa dili nimo amiga or amigo imong patyon, that is injustice. That is partial or bias. Sa mo ni siya class, imagine ninyo that the law must be impartial. Ang balaod dapat impartial, dapat nagtratar sa kabus o sa dato as the same. That our laws should be not only for the poor but also for the rich. Kaya itong nabantayan tungkol sa kapobre sa atong justice system, ang balaod na apply lamang sa mga pobre, while sa mga dato dili na ma-apply. So partiality is being biased, while impartiality is being fair, no, to all. So what is the third characteristic of morality?
Ako, sir.
Last name?
Erlaga, sir.
Go on.
Universality, sir.
Yes, what have you understood about universality?
It applies to all relevantly similar circumstances, sir.
Alright, that's correct. It applies to all similar circumstances. Example of that. So it applies.
Right and wrong, sir.
No, I'll provide an example. So an example to that, let's say for example, Anne, who is a mother, injured her child through beating, yung gisakit, no, because he broke the glass of their car. So nakasala yung anak, nakabuwak na siguro gadula o bola or whatever hard is that, dinalabay niya sa sakyanan. So nabuwak, iyahang gisakit, hangtod nga nasamad na ang bata. So let's say for example, we judge Anne for that doing as morally wrong. So sa iyo pang gibuhat ni Anne. Well, on the other hand, Ricky injured, no, yung gipasakitan sa biyang anak na lalaki through beating because he killed their dog. Kaya nakapatay man ang iyang anak na lalaki, iyang gipatay ang ilang iro, pinalangga kayo. We judge Ricky's action as right. So in this sense, we are being partial. I mean, in this one, we are treating our judgment or moral judgment is partial. Yes, that's correct. Okay, in this side, it's almost the same circumstances, but we judge Ricky as right while Anne as wrong. In terms of universality, we did not apply to the same circumstances. Same lang man siya, almost the same. Usa is nakasala, nakabuak, ang usa nakapatay iro. So almost the same, no? Medyo bugat-bugat lang yung gamay pagkamatay sa iro, no? Who is that?
So,
Balwan? Was that you?
sir,
Yes, what's your opinion?
kanang pareho ra day gyapon na sa kuan, sir, kanang sa mga reason, sir, nga kuan kanang dili sila pareho kuan sala, pero pareho sila padulngan dito nga kuan ito kana lang circumstances, sir, ba
Ang
preso,
kuha naman na siya, consequence naman na siya ang pagkapriso. Consequence naman siya, dili siya almost the same. Ang ilang mga crimes according to our laws, no, sa tong balaod, they are punishable by laws, no. Pangawat,
Ay sila sala sir.
Pagpatay lahi sila sala, pero same sila og paingnan prison because we prohibit as of the moment, as of this year, capital punishment. Wala pa tay capital punishment. So that means prison lang usa, but it was according to what is prescribed by the law. So kung what do you call that, life sentence, then that is much longer. Kung gamay-gamay rin mong sala, lang ka, nangawat lang ka, o nasakpan ka, stealing, an act of stealing, no? Then that maybe that is much maba nga sentence. Kung nang rape ka, it's almost equivalent to killing. So that is also, sometimes you will be sentenced with the life sentence as well with that. So imprisonment that's the consequences, but this one is how we judge the action. Di unsa nato pag-judge ang action sa usa ka tawo compare sa usa ka tawo with almost the same circumstances. Gibunog. Pero dinhi sa kuano?
Sir,
Yes.
excuse me sir, what if ang situation is na ay nangawat, then siya kay napusilan sir, ang nangawat may napusilan, pero wala na igo sa mga critical parts sa body sir, what if yun ang situation sir?
In that sense, we can apply the principle of overridingness, not in the sense of moral and non-moral, but the gravity of the sin. This is in the version of morality, but I'm not really aware what is the point of view of the legal way of looking at that or judging that. But for morality, we judge the action based on the gravity of the effect. So, pusil, that is an injury, while nangawat, unsa may iyang gikawat? So that is the question.
Kuan sir, nabuhat mo ko na sa mga sir to, ang gikawat is kuan 20k nga kwarta, dayon ang paka na mo ginawa na gikuha, din pagkaugma na trace man kay kanang mga Bisaya na trace siya mo tong, then na balaan man pud kay naigo man pud ya tiil niya na lumping mo tong nabalaan pa.
In that sense, ang iyang gikawat, it was actually it was much bigger in gravity. And in the sense nga na napusilan siya in the act, no, sa akto, sala gito sa nangawat, regardless na pusilan siya or wala, unless kung gikawat ko anra ballpen gamay ra kaayo 100 pesos 500 pesos, sometimes we can really say nga nung pusilon man gyud, pero kanang ingana nga kantidad and as well as that tapos in the act pagid niya siya nasakpan, so we have the reason to defend our property sa ingon ana. Pero kanang ginagmay lang nga butang unsay gikawat diha, sometimes we can say it's not dili siya bagay nga pusilon or what, because ang gikawat is very low of worth lang, no? So muna siya tong timan-an. So in that sense, we have the right to defend our property. So nahimo po siyang ebidensya against that person kay naay trace. So we have
Kuan sir, asa siya ma-relate sa characteristic o morality sir? Pwede ra Japan siya og universality sir or overridingness gud sir?
Kana siya stealing and then injuring. Gi-injure nimo ang stealing, so dili siya the same circumstance. So it must be in the overridingness.
Okay sir, thank you sir.
So katong pag-injure nimo niya, it will always be justified as wrong. I mean, ang act of stealing was wrong, while injuring that in virtue or in respect to defend the property is right. So stealing was wrong, but injuring that person because of stealing and in your right to defend your property, that is right.
Thank you sir, thank you.
All right, what is the next or the fourth characteristic of morality?
Sir,
who is Santillan? Go on.
Si Santillan na lang.
Sir, reason driven.
All right, what is reason driven?
critical thinking applied to the moral sphere, supported by good reasons.
All right. Thank you for that, Santillan. Yes, that is correct. No. Reason driven. Yes, that is supported by good reasons. So it is to ensure, no, it is to ensure that our moral judgments are not wrought out of thin air, concocted from prejudice or blind emotion. So let me just put that here. So 4 is reason driven. So this is to ensure, no, that that our judgment should be reason driven. This is to ensure that our moral judgments are not wrought out of thin air, nga pinasagad lang nato nga judgment with not even validated, or wala nato gihuna-huna ang atong judgment, or concocted from prejudice, na natadaan judgment ana nga tawo. Prejudice, kabantay mo ana nga wala pa nimo mailhi ang tao pero nakikasuko sa tao because you know that person coming from the stories of the other person. So wala nimo na siya nailhan personally, pero naay naka-story nimo kanang tawhana kawatan na siya, kanang tawhana libakiro na libakira na. Like that, in that sense, bisag wala pa nimo nailhan ang tao personally, nanak kay something a bias towards that person. Tungod man na siya sa prejudice, na nakasulti nimo nga ingon ana siya. That's why you have that feeling nga dili ko makig-associate na niya kay kuan na siya, bati din na siya batasan or like that. Or blind emotion. Sometimes na exaggerate nato tong emotion. Kabantay mo tong story sa Tulfo bitaw nga ang usa ka tatay ni sakay sa jeep and then siguro sa ga-move na ang jeep and then at the same time kapoy kay sa pamasada ang tatay. It happened nga na medyo na kuan siya ba na more siya nahubog ba nga kuan nakaplingkod sa diretso sa kuan sa lingkuranan. Then it happened nga dunay babae siyang tapad nga murag wa man gyud siya masagi pero ni-react ang babae og exaggeration nga gihikapan daw siya. So doon na may kuan, doon na sa Egypt dito siya class sa Egypt. Then it happened nga na may CCTV bisag unsa og klaro wa man gyud siya mahikapan dito sa Egypt. So manday kuan ang resulta pa gid class out of exaggeration sa babae, nakulatahan pa gid ang tatay. So, luya kaayo, nakulatahan, then gipaadto sa barangay, then pag-abot sa barangay, gilabanan ang babae sa barangay because of the exaggerated story. But when na-resort sila sa Tulfo, then na-retrieve ang kuan, ang CCTV, dito sa klaro, wala man yun. So, manday ang lalaki, ang tatay mo'y makasuhan, ang ending ang babae mo'y nakasuhan. So, in that sense...
Ang babae may na-place ato, sir?
Nakabantay mo itong story?
Kita ko na, sir.
Yes, that one. So mo to siya ng out of blind emotion, no, because of our kuan, because sa atong prejudice sa tao kay nakita nato nga pati kay nawong basig hubog ni, basig adik-adik ni like that. Bisag wala ta makuan ning I do not know. I'm not really that person that will react immediately. Whatever. Kung nahikapan man siya dili sa iyang private parts, dili lang sa kilid ka siguro sa iyang paa kay magdapig man gyud mo kung nagtapot na wala na space kanina lang sa inyong kuan yung kilid na lang nga ingon ana. But it's not really an issue with the Filipinos because we are more on into a family oriented people, no, nga close ta. We are not westerners. Ang westerners, they are individualistic nga dapat na ay distansya always. There is always a boundary, even igsoon or family members, na ay boundary tanan. So sa tuwa, we're okay that close ta or even before this pandemic diya gani sa kuan sa MRT bisag nagkuan na gani nagdudutanay na ang mga private parts sa mga lalaki nag-abot na sa mga kuan sa mga basta mga una clash. If you can imagine that because of the rush hour na sa kuan wala na ipakialamay actually naano na sa ubang mga tao if they will be malicious about what they feel or about something. Tungod man na siya sa kuan sa pagdinali ay nga makauli kay gabiin na at the same time daghan kayong trabahoon sa balay kung asa mo uli because I was in Manila for around 3 years. I've experienced that. That's why wala po kay mahimo because the easiest way for you to go home fast is MRT or LRT. If you're gonna go with bus or jeep, matrap ka sa traffic for 2 hours sa EDSA or wherever is that kung asa kagikan tungod sa traffic. So the fastest way is MRT and most of the people or the commuters will access the MRT or LRT. Vertig yung kuana, vertig yung punuan gyud always magdudutanay. It's okay lang nga makapwesto ka sa lingkuranan pero kung magtinduganay na sobra pa sa series, maka-imagine mo ng series nga guot na kaayo. So worst pa ng MRT or LRT. Alright, let's proceed. Engaging in moral reasoning will make us have an informed moral judgments and help us fathom, no? Help us fathom the nature of morality. So we have to remember this or take note of this. If we use our reason, do not inform moral judgments. Lahi ning informed moral judgments o pinataka lamang nga moral judgments. O nagpaka-eksperto lang ka about kwan. Let's say, for example, you are a political expert. Because you are an informed political expert by the virtue of your degree, your master's and doctorate on political matters or field or expertise. But you are not even a political science graduate, but you're acting as a political expert. Then I might suspect your judgments as something not informed, or it's just only out of your biases. So moral reasoning will help us fathom, fathom or understand. Fathom is much more deeper lang than understand the nature of morality. So because the enterprise of ethics class, the enterprise of ethics is devoted to the search for moral understanding. Mo ni ang pinakatuyo og tumong sa ethics. Search for moral understanding. Ang morality, ang yang tumong og tuyo is to give you the set of rules of what is right and wrong. While ethics, it is to devote for the search for moral understanding. Mo na imong sabdon, which can only be attained through careful reflection and sifting of reasons for belief. Imong i-evaluate tanan nimo nga gidawat niya insakto ug tanan niya gidawat nimo nga sayop. Was it really wrong? Was it really right? So now let's proceed to the designators of moral designators. What are the moral designators, class? Right. So the moral designators is this: right, wrong, and permissible. Only 3. Right, it is justified and consistent with ethical framework. Ethical framework, class, dili pa ninyo masabtan karon, but as an overview, do not tayo mga perspective sa ethics nga makaingon ta nga insakto ang action tungod kay it was an order. Gisugo ka or it's a moral order. Dunay order nga nga nag-compel nimo, nag-force nimo to do the action. Let's say for example, out of duty. This is deontology. Out of duty, you are a soldier and it was an act of duty to defend the citizens, no? Imong i-defend ang mga citizens. So it happened nga dunay bit og pusil nga mamusil sa mga tao nga nasa palibot. Then it happened that you are an army or you're a police. It happened that you have a gun as well. So in order for you to prevent that person from killing anybody, imo nang giunahan og pusil. So pwede nato nga i-judge ang buhat sa police as right based on the perspective of deontology. Inyo nang encounter as we go on in ethics. Doon na usab makaingon nga insakto ang iyang gibuhat nangawat. Let's say for example nangawat. Pwede usab nato i-judge nga i-justify ang iyang buhat nga insakto nga nangawat siya og tinapay. Let's say for example iyang gikawat tinapay. Kay ngunta sakto to iyang gibuhat kay nangawat siya kay wa siya kwarta, gutom na kaayo iyang anak, gasakit pagyod. So in that justification kay ngunta isakto to iyang gibuhat. So that is utilitarianism. So kung ang imuhang ang isa action nag-follow and nagsunod sa usa ato ka perspective, pwede na do siya ma-declare nga insakto. While wrong, if wala gud siya gisundan bisag usa ato nila. And then permissible, it is justified and consistent with ethical framework, but does not imply obligation. You are not required to do that. Bisag insakto na siya, pero wala ka compel or gi-force to do it. Wala may obligasyon bisag insakto. So example to that sa permissible, like let's say for example, let's plant trees because it's good for our nature, it's good for the earth. Sakto ang planting trees, but there's no obligation for you to do that. It's already up to you if you're gonna do that or not. And also like insakto ang muhatag og hinabang sa mga beggar diya sa simbahan or bisag asa nga dalan. but it is not an obligation for you to do that. It's already up to you. It depends upon the weight or gravity of your conscience. Usahay manggod kabantay mo muhatag ra mo if murag na-touch mo sa person nga inyong nakita nga nagbeg or nangayo. Pero kung di ta ma-touch, murag wala ra gyud sa atong buot. Diretso ra ta. Right, so more examples for kuan. Akong giuna ning moral designators for the example that I will be giving. First example about moral of reason driven. Let me put it there. Right. Let's say, for example, thousands were killed, tortured, salvaged, and detained during martial law. In that sense, that is the example. Is it according to your reason? Sa imuhang panghuna-una, how will you treat this acts, no? Mga buhat nga nahitabo during martial law? Is it right? Is it wrong? Or permissible?
No answer. No reason, sir.
Herolada.
It's wrong, sir. True. Wrong.
True, it's wrong. Why?
Ako, sir, kay no reason ra, sir.
No reason for Herolada. For true.
Sir, aside wrong, there's no reason po, sir. Pero kung sa situation man gud sa panahon ni Marcos, sir, dagan mo siyang reason good nga nung gibuhat niya to. Pero siyang mga law man gud, sir, na po side nga wrong kay why is it a people kung mo patay pa man kag tao kung naaman tay balaod, di ba?
All right. That's a good reason. True. Why no? What is your answer again, Herolaga? Is it wrong, right, permissible?
Yes, sir. No reason, sir. Because ko answer ka ng
What is
no reason, sir, kay antungod kay nganong mo patay man si ang sa time ni Marcos, sir, cause declare siya martial law, nganong need man gid mo patay. O nganong patyan man yung tao nga walay rason, sir, ba nga wala mo pwede buhat nga sala or
So na kay rason. Atay sa pili sa either right, wrong, permissible ang statement.
Sa ana nga statement, sir, no reason gyud siya dapat, sir, kay kato nga time, sir, nganong wala may reason ang mga tao, sir, para nganong wala may ika-reason si Marcos nganong need niya mo patay ana, sir.
Sa imuhang gi diri kanilantaw sa perspective ni Marcos. What about you?
Yes,
Sa
sir.
imuhang kuan kaning daghan ang gipatay, gitorture during martial law. Was it right to kill, torture, salvage, detain?
Wrong, sir.
Wrong.
Wrong jud, sir.
And
Wrong jud.
all right. Thank you for that, Herolaga.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so our reasons, nagka-similar mo reasons ni Kuana, ni Cho, regarding why is it necessary to kill if there is a law to follow. Okay, so the context during that time, class, during the imposition of martial law, the habeas corpus, I don't know if it's the right term, habeas corpus. Was it the right term? The habeas corpus, if that is the right term, it was suspended during the imposition of martial law. When it was suspended, the due process, habeas corpus, it's the one giving due process for investigation. So wala na due process, the state can try anybody they suspect to be subservient to the government or against the government, and then kill if necessary, or by whatever means. But I guess it was not indicated not to kill. But killing was really the effective and the fastest way for the administration that time, not to silence the opposition. Okay, so let's say, for example, if you believe that it was morally right because they expressed subservience, mayroong subservience isn't an act of going against the administration or the government by protesting, by vocal contradiction to the policies. But it is not necessarily that you are a communist. If nag-oppose lang ka sa policies, let's say, for example, you're opposing the policy of Duterte against war on drugs, because one of your family members is a victim of the of that war on drugs, namatay, no? Let's say, for example, bala, simba ko, just for the sake of discussion, namatian mo because of the wrong identity, no? So you go against with that policy because you are a victim, your family is a victim against that policy. So, sige na kag-criticize, sige na kag-post sa social media of something against the kuan tungod sa imong emotion like that, you're expressing subservience to the government. So if you believe that it was morally right to kill, torture, salvage, detain those opposing the government because they are expressing subservience to the government, at the same time you are in favor of the leaders who imposed martial law because of their big economic plans, and then I will suspect your judgment as illogical and unreasonable, or I might not take you seriously. This reason clash. Just because of subservience, it is very illogical to kill. Just because of subservience. Just because of the identity that that a person is a communist. I'm not sympathizing against a communist, but by virtue of impartiality, no, by virtue of impartiality and by virtue of reason driven, it doesn't mean that the person nga komunista ng tao imo ng patyo ng tao. That is not necessary, or it does not follow nga ingon ana dayon. Why? Because that person has the same moral worth with us, even though they identify themselves as communist. First, what makes them communist? It was because of the policies of the administration. Mao tang nanaka na sa bukid because dili naman sila paminawon. Bisa kung saan nila protesta di as kadalanan, instead gipang bombahan sila tubig, gipang suppress sila sa mga police forces, gipang bato or whatsoever, what kind of kuan diha. Pag mapuno na ang tao, kung dili paminaw ng tao, mahimong violente ang tao. That's the reason why ang uban manaka sa bukid, then mo go banday wala sila same sentiments sa mga komunista o mga NPA there. Nahimo na lang nga naingon ana tungod pod sa ato ang kapabayaan sa atong gobyerno. So, in order kung mao na imong reason because of subservience and because of the many big things that an administration has done, economic plans, projects, and whatsoever is that, then your reasons is illogical and unreasonable. Second example, thousands were killed from the war on drugs of Duterte. Anyone who wants to share their opinions? I'm not trying to convince you, class, especially if you are pro Duterte or pro Marcos. I'm only citing examples about morality has relevance to our society. Thousands were killed from the war on drugs of Duterte. What is your opinion with this? Is this right, wrong,
sir.
or permissible?
It's right, sir.
Right? Who said that? Right.
Yes, sir.
Herolaga?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Go on. Why?
Ingon na to siya right, sir, because there is a reason, sir, nga nung gipatay sila. Dili man pud tanan, sir, nga ang uban nga matay tungod sa na gipatay sila sa police or anything. So, ang uban, sir, is nang laban sila, sir. That's why they were killed. So because related sila sa drug, sir, they are drug independent, sir.
Drug dependent.
Yes, sir. Dependent rather, sir.
All right. Who else?
Sir,
Sabroso?
about cancer, drugs of cancer, Duterte. That's why he killed of police of Duterte because cancer nang nilabag sila sa batas na dapat na kuanon dapat silang kinabuhi nang uban manglaban sila nang mamatay sila kay nang giparang tok-tok kani sir nang tok-tokhang yung sa tawag ata sir
Tokhang
na tokhang in the early they should cancer nang participate cancer sa nang surrender sa law sa cancer ba like barangay captain na sir na kuan yang uban gahi magulo nang patay din sila kuan nang laban pagod. That's all there.
All right.
Thank you.
Actually, you have same opinion with the Herolaga, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if that is the reason, then I would probably believe your reason, because yes, it's correct that it will endanger the lives of the policemen and women if they will not kill, especially if those suspects are having guns, dunay mga pusil, and the same time they are fighting back. So in that reason, that is can be excused in virtue of self-defense. But let's say, for example, if you believe it is morally right because they are evils, if you believe that the drug dependents, drug users, drug sellers are evils and plague in the society, plague or salute sa society, and that because you are a DDS who believe and salute to whatever Duterte will say, then I suspect your judgment as impartial and not reason-driven. Why did I say it is not enough that salot sila o mga demonyo sila sa atong society? That is because there are many drug dependents were compelled to do it as a means of livelihood, no? Tungod sa kawadon, tungod sa kawalay trabaho, tungod sa kaminos sa economic programs sa atong gobyerno. Many of them are victims of this sa kagutom, tungod sa wala ni pagkaon or economic inaccessibility, wala sila access to food. So daghan ang kuan, una nga reason is daghan kayo ng nana. Ikadua, there are many testimonies that even coming from police forces that they are having quotas. Bisag ang usa na ka drug dependent ni surrender na sa barangay, their names are listed, no, sa surrender sa barangay, even to the PNP office or whatever is that. After na surrender, they try to change their lives already, but because of the quota that the policemen and women, or I guess it's more on in the men, policemen, so tungod sa ilang quota nga ginakuha niya, i-submit nila, so they are compelled to kill someone na sa ilang lista, and because of the money or the compensation that they will be getting if do na sila mapatay. So in that kuan, dugdagan ang testimonies nga mangingon ana that is even listed, no, to the case being filed to the international court that's being resisted by the current administration up to today, that which I believe, no, ako nagtuo ko by the time if they fail to secure a national position this coming 2022 election, they will be held accountable of those cases. First, human rights violations. Human rights violations, class, we have to understand that human rights violations are the violations committed by those men and women in uniform against the civilians, not the other way around. Mo nang usahay mangingon ta nga nganong sige ra natong question yung mga violations sa mga pulis ug sa mga military, nganong dili nato questionon katong mga gipamatay sa mga NPA o komunista o gipamatay sa katong mga civilian. Because the definition, class, of human rights violations, these are the violations committed by those in the government, by men and women in uniform, no? Katong mga gipamatay or mga massacre nga gihimo sa NPA sa komunista, lahi na to siya nga kaso, dili na to siya human rights violation. It may be homicide, it may be parricide, ing ato na to nga mga kaso ilang atubangon. Multiple murder, multiple homicide, like that, monto nga kaso ang isangat sa ilaha. Dili sila ma-fall under the category of human rights violation, because the goal of human rights the human rights is to protect the civilians and those non-combatants from the oppression of the government. Mao na siya atong sabton. Mao na siya nga dili ta pwedeng mo akusar nganong dili ta mo tingog sa mga human rights violations sa mga NPA komunista, sa mga private armies, nga na disagnaan na sila uniform kanang mga NPA ug mga private armies. They are not working in the government. Mao na siya nga dili sila ma-fall under human rights violations. Mao na tong timan-an. So kung mao na imong reason tungod kay DDS ka, you are loyal to Duterte and you are suspecting these people as plague, you do not even know their stories, but in the name of self-defense, that is justifiable, not only in human perspective but also in our laws. Pwede kang makuha niya na. But with those cases filed in the international court, I doubt with the objective proof and evidences nga dili tinuod. Those are tinuod yun na siya. Kay dili pwedeng isangat na nimo sa international court and you are kulang ka sa bala. So naagi na siya. There are many men in uniform nga ni confess niya na because of the money nga ilang makuha. So most of the kuan class only for self-defense, except for self-defense. More gyud na excuse niya na that is an acceptable reason. But the other else, it is that is unreasonable. That is why by virtue of impartiality, that we believe of their moral worth, that they have equal moral worth with us, the same with us, we cannot kill them. Dili dato sila pwedeng patyon. So actually the war on drugs is actually fine. No, it's actually fine. I get the point of Duterte, not that he will not endanger the lives of men and women in uniform. That is okay. Pero daghan gyud kaayong kuan kaayo, clear kaayo nga even with the CCTV ingnon man nga nanlaban. Have you heard about news about that, class?
Yes, sir.
Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Daghan kaayong cases
Yes, sir.
extrajudicial killings. Pero in our seminars before, it cannot be called extrajudicial killings. Mayroon tag extrajudicial killings only if do not tayo judicial killings. Judicial killings is capital punishment or death penalty. So wala man tayo judicial killings, so dili siya matawag ang killing outside the law is extrajudicial killings. Wala man tayo judicial, so di siya matawag, pero mo'y pinaka-appropriate lang ang name, extrajudicial killings, because it's outside the law. Pero wala man gud tayo judicial killings in the first place. So matawag yun siya nga it was murder. No? It was murder done by men in uniform. Homicide done by men in uniform. So sakit kay malandungon that it is happening even in Dumaguete, even in Negros Oriental, nga haunted ta by the previous succeeding killings na din is probinsya.
Bayawan, sir.
Bayawan and so many places. So dili lang ta mag-mention of names or whatsoever, but we know that some of them are victims of the war on drugs. Okay, so let's proceed. We still have 12 minutes. Moral reasoning is not a mechanical process cut off from human emotion. Let us not misunderstood, class. Emotion is necessary in making moral judgments. Feelings are essential element in moral life. What is the difference between emotion and feelings? In our layman's term, you know, psychology has a deeper meaning of what is emotion and what is feelings. The difference between emotion and feelings, class. Emotion, this is the signal of the brain, no? Do not tay emotional part there is a brain nga maoy mag-evoke of emotion. While ang feelings, this is the manifestation, pag-express na ni nato siya kaning feelings. So ang emotion is more on the brain sending signals to our parts sa body. Diha na ta mag-express nga kung doon ang atong emotion is happy, ang atong feelings nga gi-express sa atong smile, sa atong eyes, sa atong kamot, and sa atong gestures is happy. So man siya feelings nga gi-express na nato. While ang emotion, it is within, no? Within, more on in the heart and in the brain. So dunay collaboration and then gi-express nato through gestures. So most of the moral issues are emotionally evoking. Example, abortion, no? War, kaning war doon na pud ta maghisgot pud ta ini kung doon na patay time within the semester kung giunsa paglantaw sa mga ethicists ang war. Is it right? Is it wrong? Death penalty, is it right? Is it wrong? There are many perspectives as well in this, and the suicide and many more. So emotion can help us empathize. Ang sympathize, class, with the difference between empathize and sympathize. Sympathize is you are only expressing same emotion nga nakiramay ka. While empathize, it is much deeper than sympathize. Empathize is you are putting yourself to the shoe of someone feeling nga also someone's place. Imong gibutang imong kagalingon sa iyang place in order for you to better understand what is that person going through. So emotion can help us empathize with others, especially let's say for example victims of AJKs and martial law, in order for you to enlarge our understanding of the stakes involved in moral issues. So, pero we have to be very careful because emotion or feelings can make us very biased. So it needs to be filtered, no? I-filter ni siya through critical thinking. So di gani siya mawala ang critical thinking. Mao gani siya ang pinaka one of the backbone of morality or ethics. Critical thinking is necessary for it will give us the power to examine and guide our feelings to achieve a more balanced view. So, muna siya tanawon. What about conscience, class? Can we trust our conscience when it comes to moral judgments?
Sometimes, sir.
Sometimes. Yes, that is true. So, conscience, it is also like feelings actually. It is conditioned by our upbringing sa pagpadako sa tuwa. So, kung sigit ang ginasakit sa atong ginikanan every time na makommit og sayop, we have the tendency nga dali ka ita mag-guilty kay gitrain man ta nga lahat nga dili day pwedeng masayop, dapat insakto sige. Well, kung gitrain pug ka sa imong ginikanan nga gipasagdaan lang ka, so you are less ang imong tendency nga mo show og guilt kay gipasagdaan lang man kanyang mga awat diha or magunsa ka diha maglaroy-laroy ka diha, asa ka maabot mo nang pagdako nimo wala ra kay pakialam sa mga moral issues kay dili man imong upbringing, wala man ka na-guidan igtarong. So conditioned by our upbringing, it seems to speak to us in an imaginary though authoritative voice. Pag mosulti na niya ang atong conscience, usahay mura tag gipugos nga buhaton, so telling us to do or not to do something. Can you remember the time you first nangawat, first time nimo nangawat or nag-cheat or nakasakit og tao? Ka remember mo na how your conscience works? Di ba perting kusgana?
Makana ko, sir, nga nangupit mo ko kasi di na ko malangit ani.
Oh, that's one. Because of the upbringing also of our religion, that is one of the influence as well. So that's a good point. Who said that? Was it Santillan? Villanueva. Yes. So, yes, in that sense, basig di nakamalangit, that is also one of the influence of the Christian values.
Hadlokon bukas kuan, sir, parents ni mo, sir.
Yes, sa pagkuan po sa parents, hadlokon ka.
Sa like may pulis na takpon ka.
May pulis, may abat.
Dili gid pulis bunalan ni kapag kuman makabalo sila.
Oh, tingin mga
kuan, sir. Those for those.
Mga nga mga klase sa pag-train. So mo na siya ang mga upbringing nato nga bisag ka nang ginagmay nga sense, even language class. If you can remember karong mature na ka or dako na ka, it has an effect to yourself and the way you treat others. So you have to be very careful with that. Kay dili ta makabantay usahay. So we are unconscious of our actions or our language. That was because of our upbringing actually. Nga usahay makasulti tag dili maayo, but it's paminaw nato it's okay ra to sa tuwa, nga normal ra to sa tuwa, but to others dili di ay. So we have to be very, that is because of the upbringing, and emotion is also influenced by upbringing in some sense. So kanin siya katong first time nimo na nga nakasala ka, murag paminaw nako di nako malangit ani murag bugat ka imong feeling of guilt. Pero by the time as you keep on doing that thing kana nga sala, mawala ra pud na imong conscience later on. That is because imo namang gi-control imong conscience nga dili na mo work. So it is like our feelings, it may be the result of irrelevant influences and is therefore no infallible indicator of moral truth. Infallible class dili masayop, no? So kaning conscience masayop siya. No infallible, dili siya infallible. So indicator of moral truth. So in the name of conscience, people have done noble deeds and horrible acts. So, muna siya nga dili pod pwedeng himuon nato nga atong guide for making moral judgments ang atong conscience. The same with feelings, we should not ignore it for it might alert us of something morally important. Something we need to submit to critical examination. Only through critical thinking we can rise above our feelings, conscience, and personal interest to see with moral clarity. So, muna siyang the very backbone of morality is our critical thinking, that we will examine thoroughly the ideas and opinions being presented to us, which one to follow and which one not, which one to do and which one not to do. So na tagaan na tamog background what is what is ethics, what is morality. So as we go on with the perspectives of ethics later on, we will start with the hedonism, and then later on virtue ethics of Aristotle, the ontology of Kant, utilitarianism of Smith, and so on. So diha na mo makamatagaan og mga perspectives on how to look at moral actions or actions, if it's right, wrong, or permissible. So for now, any questions before I gonna check the attendance?
Sir, ako sir.
Yes, for Dan?
About sa kuanta sir, gahapon ba sa quizzes?
Yes.
Kay what pa answer sir, kay murag naay something wrong sa akong Google Classroom sir.
So sa date,
Ako arang sir.
imo hanggi
Ako anang gi-PM nimo.
ang answer nimo.
Ay dili. Wala ko ka-answer sir, kay murag naay something wrong ako ang Google Classroom.
Kindly kuan lang, i-click lang ang subang kuan katong link.
Gani sir, kapila na nako gi click unya dili man gyapon.
Unsa imong gamit, cellphone?
Oh.
Okay, so we'll see. Basig ma-check na later on. Alright, any other kuan?
Sir, salamat sir.
Okay. Sullivan?
Ako sir,
Sullivan?
katong diba po sa imong gihatag nga answer sa web link o unsa ba to sa pareha to
Same
sir?
na to sila, same na to sila.
Sir,
Pila
ako sa mga bala
Bisag asa ra imong pinduton same na to ang ilahang kuan, ilang destination. Dito sa
Okay, thank you sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Alright, so wala na questions.
Ako sir.
Kinsa man sa Villanueva?
Ako sir. Ako sir.
Wala na sir.
Dalaga?
Yes, me sir.
Ay, naimutan na.
Okay.
Ako sa sir.
Yes, go on.
Diri sa part sa nakoy na take nun sir ba, diri sa part sa universality sir ba, how can we determine nga kung sir ang wrong ba na siya or right, kay di ba similar circumstances or man to sir? How we can determine that kung sir kanang wrong ba na siya or right kana sila sir?
Actually, sa principle of universality, dapat same ang atong judgment sa halos tanan nga action. I mean, sa pareho nga action. Dili siya nagdetermine sa wrongness or rightness of the action. Let's say for example, dunay nangawat diri og usa ka tray nga itlog, while dito sa pikas baryo na nangawat og usa ka bugkos nga balatong. Let's say that is the example. Dapat dili ka mo ingon nga insakto ng isa sayop tong isa. Dapat parihas ang imong judgment.
Okay sir.
Wala siya nagdetermine og rightness or wrongness the action, but the similarity of your judgment. Dili ka dapat lailahi imong judgment niya, pareho ra ang kuan ang sala.
Okay sir, thank you.
Okay.